All right, guys, let's talk about the gaming experience that was supposed to happen this week and what the freak happened. So if you guys, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and I want to talk about some of the games that have launched this week, some of the other stuff, surrounding it, even some like PlayStation 5 Pro stuff, like patches, updates, things like that. I've been over, I've been listening in over on X, and like it's just been a really busy week for me with other stuff, like trying to deal with, like PlayStation 5 Pro stuff, trying to finish reviewing and doing content for the T598, trying to keep up with, all the games and all the stuff that's coming out. And, we had the launch of Stalker 2 and we had Microsoft Flight Simulator, both of these games coming into Xbox Game Pass. Obviously, we had a few patches for a bunch of PlayStation 5 Pro games. Things are kind of a little shaky over there. But then I look over at what Xbox is doing. And there, you got Microsoft Flight Simulator. People couldn't even log in on that first day. Like literally, like I was just like, what the freak, man? I'm like trying to make a video for this game and I can't even make a video on the day that it launches. So I wait till the next day and then I finally get in. And then I don't even know how to fix the sound on that. Like I try to record the video and the sound, and it's like, gosh dang, man, it's like so overpowering. And then if I go in there and I create different tracks, then I'll just forget, and then it'll mess up the sound somewhere else. So I got to figure that out. I'll try to get you guys some video for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Going to do some ultra wide content and some VR hopefully this weekend. And then I see the negativity start to swell around that game. People like, oh man, I don't like the way that Microsoft did this. And you see the headlines on YouTube that Microsoft Flight Simulator's trash, this and that. And it's like, dude, like you guys are like talking about probably one of the only true actual freaking next gen games that like you can literally fly all over the whole freaking planet in real time, and it's cool. Like that is cool. That to me is an incredible freaking experience. The fact that I get to even keep all of my planes from 2020, all the fighter jets and everything that I bought, and they all just carry right over to it, man, that is like boom, incredible. I'm very happy about that. And then today, man, I get on there, yesterday and today, and I start looking at like all the discourse around Stalker 2. And guys, it never makes sense to me. And you guys always say, hey, Frog, if it's a bad game, you're going to love it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man. Have you guys ever taken the time to possibly think that, hey, maybe these games and stuff aren't bad just because all of the other guys are saying that they're trash games? Maybe they're not really bad. Maybe they're just, perfectly good average games that like we used to play and we used to love. But now people have found a way to trash games to make money on YouTube. Maybe it really is because the algorithm on YouTube really does favor negative content, so that gets pushed harder and faster and further. So it just, these guys come out every time a new game comes out, these guys jump on it, they trash it, and then move to the next one, and then it just kind of, I don't know. And then you got people like me that actually play through the game and actually enjoy them. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I play games like a casual, like a consumer. Like I'll play them on the weekend. And if I get through them and I enjoyed the experience and it entertained me, that to me is a good experience. So when I'm able to do that and I say, yeah, this is a good game, or like the PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm like, yeah, dude, the console's cool, Honestly, guys, if we were not on freaking YouTube or X or Twitter or anything else, if we were just the average consumer, I guarantee most of them dudes are sitting at home freaking like trying to figure out a way to go buy a PlayStation 5 Pro so that they can have the greatest, console experience right now. I don't know. Or maybe they're not. Maybe we are so far gone as a society or as a community for console gaming that it just doesn't even faze us anymore, man. Like I remember I used to sit back and was like so excited every time a new console generation would launch. I was like, man, I just remember the excitement and the thrill of like, oh my gosh, new hardware. And like you would listen to like Mark Cerny or everybody else talking about like the features and stuff that the new consoles are going to have. And you get all excited over the buzzwords. But then there's always some party pooper out there to ruin the party for everybody because they are just despicable, miserable people. And now they found a way to get onto YouTube and be despicable, miserable people and actually monetize that and get paid to do that. Like, why would they quit doing that? If that makes them money, why would they quit? You got to ask yourself. It's one of those things where it's like, dude, you either want to play video games and you want to have fun, or you want to be a part of that negativity and just trash everything no matter what. I believe that if I'm going to say negative stuff about something like I did with the PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see if, you know, if that negativity was warranted. And obviously it wasn't. So here I am, you know, day after day trying to not necessarily walk it back, but show you reasons that I found to be happy about the purchase that I made and enjoy it. You know, I mean, I guarantee it that most people are going to be able to buy a PS5 Pro and thoroughly enjoy it. I don't see how you couldn't. And I mean, like, you've got a lot of people out there trying to tell you or trying to convince you that there's no difference. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Whatever. There's no difference. Okay, whatever, dude. If you can't see a difference on this, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably shouldn't even be wasting money on video games. You know, you should probably just go get yourself a Nintendo Switch and be fine, because clearly you don't appreciate any kind of visual stuff. So yeah, just go get a Switch and have fun. They make plenty of games, man. There's no reason for you to spend any more money buying hardware or pro content, period. Because if you can't see a difference, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what to tell you. That'd be like, yeah, I mean, I can't tell the difference. I mean, like, honestly, guys, the PlayStation 5 Pro, obviously the price of it or whatever definitely is pretty, you know, it's pretty up there. I get that. I can definitely relate. There was a time in life when I was, you know, not, you know, didn't have the discretionary budget to be able to buy things or stuff like that, or that easy, you know. I mean, there was a time when my kids were really little, and, you know, just feeding them and stuff like that was sometimes a chore, you know. I had definitely, you know, make sacrifices to not get the things that I wanted to take care of my family or to feed my kids. So I get that. Like, I understand that. But now, you know, it's not that, you know, it's not that big. It's not that hard anymore to like get to that point. Like, I'm not saying that I never get there, but, you know, it's a little bit easier now. And I think that most people, you know, kind of grow into that. I've watched a lot of people, you know, older than me be able to do what they want to do. And I'm always thinking like, oh man, I wish I had money like that. And you know what I mean? It's just, you get older, and then like some things that you used to do that used to take up a lot of your time and a lot of your money and stuff, you know, start to not matter as much. So then you start to, I don't know, it's kind of like a pendulum. It just swings back and forth, you know. But I get it, man. Like, I look at the negativity surrounding Xbox, you know, just gaming in general, man. And I wonder, it's like, how do we even like keep going with this, man? Because if all these games that they just keep coming out and they keep failing because people are just like, hey man, I would much rather just trash your game than play your game. Like, how do we even get past this point? Like, what is it? What's the end goal? Honestly, what is the end goal of trashing everything that comes out? You know, whether it's fanboys on one side trashing the other thing, or, you know, people that are just on YouTube to try to make money by trashing things. Like, what's the end goal? Where does it stop? Like, what is the outcome that we're trying to get to so that we can have the perfect gaming experience every single time? Like, what is it going to take? You know, like, just 4K 60? Is that like the standard? Is that what we're shooting for? We're just not hitting it. Does it matter what the visuals look like? Or we just want the 4K resolution with the 60 frames a second gameplay? You know, I mean, is that what we're shooting for? Like, what are we shooting for? We're shooting for only straight white male characters and voluptuous women, you know, characters? Is that what we're shooting for? Like what are we shooting for in the world? Because I know that when I walk down the street, or I go somewhere and I look around, I don't see hot people every single place I go. Like, they're not all hot people. There are multiple different people that look different. Like, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, maybe, you know, I get it, you know, the whole like people wanting to have diversity in games and stuff, or make them closer to realistic or whatever. I get that, you know, but I don't know. They have the creative freedom to do whatever the hell they want, and we have the consumer right to buy and enjoy whatever we want. But that doesn't mean that we need to go out of our way to trash every single thing just because we don't like it. I mean, I guarantee that some of the grifters out there don't even play the type of game that they're grifting about. And so it's disingenuous, and it's frustrating, because I personally still like to play video games. I do. I still like to explore new worlds and try new things and see things for myself and like make up my own mind about things, you know, and bring you guys content and stuff. And I don't know, man. I made a thing to myself. I told myself, I'm like, look, man, no matter how bad the PlayStation 5 Pro is, if I thought it was bad, then I was just going to I was going to be fair with my criticisms, but I was going to try to, you know, really talk about the stuff that was positive about it. And that's what I've been trying to do with everything, you know, going forward, because I don't want to be super negative. I don't want to just trash things to trash things, but I will, you know, I do want to be constructive in my criticism of things, you know, that I buy for the channel or that I review. So yeah, guys, it's frustrating to see the negative discourse surrounding Stalker 2 and Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's disappointing to see the negative discourse surrounding PlayStation 5 Pro. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. Like, what is our end goal? So I know this was a ramble video. Hopefully, if you watch it, man, I get it, dude. I get so caught up in my head sometimes, and it distracts me so much from making the other kind of content that I want, because there's like so much, like I'm looking at like the negativity, you know, surrounding like my favorite hobby in the whole world, the one thing I love doing, like that I would like to focus my money and my time and my effort into as my hobby as a grown man. And I see just so much negativity around it that it's just like, I lose the freaking words. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to convince my fellow gamers to just chill out, bro. Play what you want to play. There's no reason to nitpick anybody else about the things that they want to play. There really is no reason. Even though I do it about NVIDIA all the time. I don't know. I kind of feel like NVIDIA is kind of an evil company. I don't know why I feel that way. I do. But you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's so much negativity out there that it distracts me so much from making the kind of content that I want to make. And then when I do make the content that I want to make, and then I just see the negativity kind of pour in, and it's like, oh man, I got to stop reading all my comments or something, man, because it just starts to get to me. And then I go over to X, and that's all I see on X, or I go over to freaking Blue Sky, and that's all I see on Blue Sky, and everywhere. There's so much of it. I flip through YouTube, and all I see is this game's trash, this, that, and it's so overwhelming sometimes. It's so overwhelming that I'm just like, oh my gosh, man, like what the freak is going on? Like, I don't remember it being this damn bad during the PlayStation 3 era. I don't remember it being this, I don't even remember it being this bad in the Xbox One generation, man. Like, what the freak happened? What the freak happened? I don't know. I feel like a whole bunch of people started channels on YouTube around the same time, and I kind of feel like we are all kind of getting sucked into that negativity thing or whatever. And yeah, man, like it was hard to pull myself back out of that because I was getting like really like pulled into that. And my gosh, man, like I'm so glad that I was able to pull myself away from that and start thinking again, and you know, trying to like really, you know, change the trajectory of this channel and be something, you know, a positive force for gaming and stuff. And I don't know, man. I don't understand how we get to a point where we're like, I'm playing Stalker 2 and I'm like, gosh dang, this game is beautiful and it feels cool. Like I'm going through there and I'm enjoying that. Or like I'm in Flight Simulator and I'm flying around on my F-35. And I'm flying through the freaking Grand Canyon and I'm looking at it. I'm like, gosh dang, man, like who wouldn't like this? And I'm thinking like, wow, this is cool. It's amazing. And there's other people out there that are just like, oh man, and they're just being negative, just to be negative. They probably haven't even played it or even tried to play it. And yeah, I can get it. You know, some games like that might not be for everybody. I get that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to think that people are, that they would rather just be that negative instead of trying to enjoy something, you know? But all right, guys, Xbox is everywhere. Xbox is literally everything. I mean, Xbox coming out showing off Avowed at 30 frames a second, and I'm like, why do that? Why do that, Microsoft? You know they're going to tear you apart for this. They're already being negative about the 2 games that you just launched on Game Pass, and then you're going to come out with a preview for Avowed. Like, why would you be why would you be previewing Avowed when you're launching 2 games onto Game Pass, 2 highly anticipated games? You're going to bring out previews for Avowed, stating the game's running at 30 frames per second, and then your developer telling people that, oh man, we're working to get us 60 frames a second. It's that kind of stuff that really confuses consumers. It confuses us. It confuses your fans. It confuses the other side. Like, why would you do that? Why launch Avowed early at 30 frames per second? Why make that the criteria for launch when you should just be like, look, let's just make the 60 FPS work and then put it out. We saw Starfield get 60 FPS. We have Starfield that has 60 FPS patch on Series S. Let's just wait. Just wait. Put the game out when it's done. Put it out when it's ready. You know, I mean, don't try to do this with Fable. Don't try to put Fable out at 30 frames per second. Like, that's where we're going with this. Like, it's starting to get to a point where it's like, I don't want, like, if I only had an Xbox Series X, I don't want to have, because I like to play games day one. I do not want my first experience to be a negative experience. I would rather have the ability to choose. And if the performance mode is not good enough, then maybe I choose the 30 FPS and feel like, yeah, at least I'm getting the better experience instead of being forced into one experience when I could have tried the other one. Yeah, I would, it just, yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with Xbox anymore. I don't know what's going on with Xbox anymore, and it's frustrating, and it's definitely, you know, concerning to some level to what's going on. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop rambling. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're freaking awesome, man. I greatly appreciate it. I get this stuff on my mind, and then, like I said, I can't stop thinking about it. It's too distracting, and then it prevents me from doing the other stuff that I want to do. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. Yeah, the state of video games right now in 2024. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.